telling your players' names if you don't know them or anything like that? You don't want to be cutting in across the
That's all right.
You sure?
Yeah. Well, we're doing this for the benefit of them. Tell me when you're ready to go. Just give us a bit.
Geez, it's 25.
Okay, we've got...
Pete Pascoe. Pascoe's a big fella, isn't he?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ready? Well, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to East Fremantle Oval. And this is the West Australian, South Australian Amateur Football League interstate match in perfect conditions here this afternoon, with a forecast maximum of around about 22 degrees and perfect ideal conditions for both sides. As we look now, both sides doing their preliminaries, and Hads, there's some height amongst a lot of those players out there.
On the South Australian side, there is certainly Tig, the big fella there, 25, Pascoe, a lumbering sort of chap. He'll be a hard man to get around, but I think we're in for a great contest. The weather may be the leveller here for Western Australia. Going into this game, I don't know much about the South Australians. There are some good players. In fact, we know, Wiedemann, the former AFL footballer, is playing for the South Australian amateur side.
Yes, just looking through both sides, there are a sprinkling of a number of ex-league footballers out there, and this augurs well for a terrific afternoon of football. The umpires for this afternoon are Woolley from South Australia and Seamus Rafferty from Western Australia, both held in pretty high esteem according to coaches of respective sides. So we're looking forward to a terrific afternoon of football.
I think so. I think in the West Australian side, Tig, this young Mitch Holbrook, 22, is a chap that I've let East Perth know he turned 19 on Thursday, so he's open on the market, because under their rules, if you're 18 and in the zone, you're not allowed to be approached by the opposition. I think he's got some promise. He'll be exciting. His brother Scott on the wings, a tremendous runner and a hard worker. Young Perez, Jaffa Perez, an exciting left footer off the half forward line. And as we said about the ex-league players, we've got Travis Burton, ex-league player. He's playing, he'll probably marshal the back line.
Michael Evans.
Yes, Michael, yes, the son of the great Mick Evans that we had at Mount Lawley.
Yes, but as we look through both sides too, Hedge, we'll have to show a bit of ignorance given the fact that we haven't had anything to do with the South Australians. So as the game progresses, no doubt this afternoon we'll be able to pick up a lot of their credentials as play performs.
It will, and we will too. No, I think the ground is looking in magnificent condition too when you look at the work that it must endure during the week. And I think the crowd, probably a little disappointing, but that's life. I think they'll probably filter in after the AFL matches finish.
Well, once again, the umpires for this afternoon, Woolley from South Australia and Rafferty from Western Australia, as we see the South Australians break from their pre-match team meeting. And boy, there is some height out there, and I think we're in for a terrific game of football.
It'll be fast early. The skills will be magnificent, because this is the cream of amateur football, especially as the WA side is. I assisted in the selection of some of these guys, and they're very keen. And it's impressive also the lineup of coaches with the WA side. We've got Ross Glendinning, the former Brownlow medalist and star East Perth initially, and then went over and made a name for himself at North Melbourne. And of course, Gerard McNeil more recently linked with the Dockers. So a dearth of experience there. Also,
they have good support from Porky Hassler,
yes,
former West Perth Premiership captain, if I recall correctly. So a very good sprinkling of experience to be delegated down the ranks to the West Australian side.
It'll be Davis in the ruck for Western Australia, the big tall fellow from North Beach, and it looks like Wilkins from South Australia will be his immediate opponent. And Wiedemann's in the middle of the ground there with the long blonde locks. So he's obviously starting straight up onto the ball. Noticeably, the South Australians are going, they're bunching in the goal square at their end of the ground. All right, umpire Seamus Rafferty holds the ball aloft and it throws it into the air. Up goes Davis. He wins the first tap straight down the throat of McNeil. He kicks to centre half forward. It bounces and eludes a few players. Atkins back in the race. Coming across quickly though is the snapshot there from Hazelhurst, the new fella. And his shot is offline, in fact out of bounds on the full, but that was an impressive opening for the West Australian state side. The ball to be brought back into play now by the South Australian full-back. Coming to the grandstand side, he comes just out of 50. Nice kick. Ooh, unfortunately Spencer missed the mark. Hand pass into the mid-air by Chandler. Comes back to Evans, so he looks for Davis. He can't pick it up. Put under immediate pressure too by Spencer, and they saw the ball contently over the line and out of bounds.
So already Western Australia into attack now as we see the ruckman opposed. The big fellas from either side as the throw-in now takes place. Good throw there. It's knocked away by West Australians. Evans, he can't gain clear possession. The ball spills wide of the pack, picked up by South Australia. They try to work their way through the pack. No one can gain clear possession. Umpire Rafferty says, I'll have it. And a throw down to take place on Woolley, on the left half forward flank for the West Australian side. There's the throw. Big fella's opposed. Knocked away by Wilkins and Davis. Davis gets the ball down towards South Australia. They work the ball up towards the right centre wing. Well, underneath the ball from South Australia. Push there was Chambers it was. Taylor takes the mark. He looks inboard. That's the direction the kick takes. Ball spilt by Polak. No one gains clear possession. Kicked away by South Australia player there in Jacques. Up towards centre half forward. Oh, taken by Western Australia player there and Taylor. Taylor breaks free. A hand pass over towards Perkins. Perkins can't gain clear possession. Comes to ground. Oh, swamped by West Australia. There is a South Australian player. He picks up the bouncing ball nicely over towards Wiedemann. Wiedemann's kick goes up towards centre half forward. Oh, big pack develops. West Australia take it off. It's taken away by Bleakley. Bleakley kicks, smothered the kick, and a pack develops once again. Umpire Rafferty says, I'll have it, and a throwdown to take place about 25 metres out from the South Australian goals. Pretty fast, so fast, Hadge.
It is, yes, and they're having a fair income dip here. It'll be Rafferty throwing the ball up in the air. Up goes, it'll be Davis. Wilkins, tapped to no one in particular. Leading the race of the ball is Perkins. Pushes it up the line. Chapman Jones can't assist any further either, and the ball beats both he and May of South Australia over the line. Some 15 metres around from the boundary, the point post. ROCs at it again. Pascoe, Davis. Ball brought to ground. In and under. Kicked out wide on the wing, and Wiedemann on the half back line has taken the mark. Outside 50. Wiedemann looks to put it inside. Pretty congested too at the moment. Looks like the floods in amateur football as well. As Wiedemann unloads a long left foot kick to the top of the goal square. Up they go. No mark taken. Crashing through comes James. Couldn't get a clear kick in it. Pack's developing. Ball's been forced over the line. Umpire Rafferty says, no, I'll have it. Ball up just inside the line. Still no score on the board. We'll probably see the first score on the board coming right up now, as Western Australia, I would think, would knock this through. Davis deep down on the back in the last line there. And contesting it is Diesel. Diesel knocks it over the line. No, West Australia content to push it to the boundary line. It's gone through for the minor score. So the first score on the board, forced, and it's the minor score.
I think both sides are feeling their way at the moment, Hadge.
Yeah.
Seems to be a fair bit of pressure on both sides now as we wait for the kick to be taken in by the West Australian fullback.
Yes, this is Bleakley, Brendan Bleakley.
Bleakley, yes. Looks for options. He's been forced to play on by umpire Rafferty. Kick up towards the half-back line. Well, South Australia come from defence. No one can gain clear control. Ball held in by the West Australian defence there, and a good tackle once again develops on the about 54 metres out from goals.
That's Taylor, and he's been in everything at the moment for WA. He's defended very stoutly.
There's the thump away by Davis.
Straight down the throat of Perkins, but his kick was errant, and Dillon has taken the mark on the outer side, right on the wing. Hello. Perez goes in on the mark and gets whistled back. Now, doesn't know where to go. Dillon comes inboard with a hand pass to James. James now drives inside 50 for South Australia. Up there goes Bleakley, punches it to the ground. No, the mark's been taken. I thought he got a hand on that. But the mark's been taken by the... is that Dillon? No. I think that's Chandler. Chandler looks like he's taken the mark down there. He'll shoot for goal from some 20 metres out. Yeah, a bit of confusion, I think, with the West Australian defenders there.
Yeah, I think they could have made a better fist of that one, Hadge. Anyway, there goes the kick by Chandler up towards the right full forward pocket, but drifts across to the far side and the minor score only. So they move to 2 points on the Sharks scoreboard. South Australia 2 points, West Australia yet to score.
16. So it's Arnold at full forward for South Australia, and that was actually Dillon taking the shot for goal. Their numbers being yellow on red are a little bit difficult to pick up. Ball be brought back into play by Bleakley. Kicks to the leader, Perkins, and a good lead too. Oh, Perkins should have taken that mark, then throws it back on the ground to bring it back into play. But now they're off the boot. No, content to see it over the line. Civic was lucky he didn't hit his foot to go over the line on out of bounds on the field. So we'll have a throw in half-forward flank, and we'll have a blood rule too. So this is not good news. I didn't see any physical clashes to bring this about.
No, there's been a lot of contentions about the blood rule too in today's football.
This is young Pearce coming off for WA with the blood rule. He was a bit dismayed as well. He looked, he's off and on, and we're ready to go. Who came on? Throw in to come. Right half forward for South Australia. Davis in front, gets the tap. No one in particular. Wilkins was his opponent. Good football in there as Freeman throwing himself on there, but he couldn't get it out and locked it in. There'll be another ball up. So a little bit of stop-start football here. No one able to get a clear break. Both sides content to have it in there. Up goes Davis, contesting with Wilkins. The kick comes out of there from Edwards, straight to the waiting hands of Morgan Chapman-Jones. And Chapman-Jones now, in the deep in the back pocket, will have his first kick at state football.
In the left full-back pocket, Chapman-Jones comes towards the members' side. Thumped from behind by Western Australia, but Wilkins. A good mark taken there by Wilkins. And he's done a few good things so far, Hedge, in this game, as Wilkins plays on by hand. Over towards a teammate there in Armstrong. Armstrong kicks up towards the true centre-half forward position. Once again, the defence come out by Western Australia. Picked up nicely there by Jones. Jones' hand pass out towards a teammate there in Holbrook, I think.
Yes.
His hand pass onto the back of a teammate as he goes towards the right centre wing. No one can go in clear position. In goes James. James picks up the ball nicely. Hand pass goes astray. Once again, a pack develops. Player held off the ball. Goes unnoticed. Players in from all directions there, but the umpire says I'll have it, and a throwdown to take place on the left centre wing for the South Australian side, outer side of the East Fremantle Oval.
2 points to South Australia, nothing to WA. Jarks again in battle with, Wilkins in there with Davis. Ball comes to ground, players fighting on it. Stacks on the mill again develops, and umpire Willie says I'll have it here and we'll have a ball up. So Wilkins and Davis still not dominating at all with any clear tap. There's a swarm of players. Up they go, Davis. Wilkins, the tap by Davis. Down the Freeman. Freeman gains possession. The hand pass to Holbrook. He couldn't pick it up. Through his legs it went. Picked up quickly there by the South Australian in Ellis. Ellis has been jumped in the back of, and there'll be a free kick to him.
Looks further field for Leeds. Cuts inboard to a kick into a teammate there, and the mark's taken off just above Wilkins. The surface there by Wilkins. Wilkins plays on. His hand pass comes in towards the middle of the ground to the long-haired player from South Australia in Trimboli. Trimboli's kick goes a hand pass over towards Wiedemann. Wiedemann wrong foots the oncoming player, comes towards the members' side once again, where the bouncing ball's picked up beautifully there by Jarks. Jarks hand pass back to Wiedemann. Wiedemann once again spins onto that trusty left foot, kicks up towards the true centre-half forward position. Player pushed out by his own teammate there from South Australia was Jarks. In goes Western Australia, jumps on the pack. Once again a pack develops, and umpire Seamus O'Rafferty will bounce her down about 45 metres out from South Australia goal. No one can get a clear ascendancy yet, as we're at the 10-minute mark of the first quarter. West Australia playing South Australia. Umpire Seamus Rafferty throws the ball in the air. No one can get clear tap out. Once again a pack develops. Players scream from all directions. Ferreted out towards South Australia as they kick on goal there, but the ball beats the pursuing player over the line and out of bounds about 2 metres around from the goals. Await now on the boundary throw in. Still feeling each other out at this stage, Hadge.
Tend to agree, Tig. Yes, we're not much traffic, not much movement, and as you can see, still probably some 20 players around the ball. It'll be Davis again for WA. He's up against Diesel. Davis the knock at the back to Chapman-Jones. Ball though, the way it bounces, it goes over the line again, and it beats Fife as well. And we'll have another throw in yet again, some 10-15 metres around from the behind post. Left forward pocket for South Australia. They lead 2 points to WA yet to score.
There's only some half a dozen players forward of the centre line for the West Australian attacking area too, Hedge. So.
Yes. Davis yet again the tab. It comes to Cameron Hall. Nothing. He's immediately beset upon and tackled. The ball deadlocked into the ground, and umpire Rafferty yet again says, I'll have it, and we'll have another throw up.
I reckon he'll pluck out a free kick, are you?
Well, one would hope. We've got to clear this up a little bit. It's very negative sort of football, not crowd-warming stuff. Yet again, no ruckman with a clear tap. Comes down to Evans. His hand pass wide. Nothing doing for Chapman-Jones, and he's pretty busy there in his first state game, and again we've moved a little bit further up the line. So another boundary throw in with Diesel up against Davis. Davis yet to get a good tap straight down the throat of Perkins. He spins onto the right foot and kicks wide to Freeman. Immediately he plays on with a long hand pass to Cameron Hall. Outer side, scoreboard wing. He kicks up to the lead of Pollack, who couldn't take the mark. Immediately Jarks was beset upon tackle. Ball comes loose, comes in towards Perez. Perez looks inboard to McNeil. McNeil back again. It goes towards Freeman. Into Michael Evans. The West Australians start to run as they go inside 50 with a kick of Evans towards Clint Atkins. Atkins now couldn't take the mark. Punched by the defence of Spencer. Picked up by Atkins. Inside 50. Tackle, grub and kick. Comes to Holbrook. He crashes through. Hand pass there to McNeil. He's beset upon by about 5 South Australians. And nothing happening there. Some 40 metres out, but the first positive move by one of the sides, and WA will have a bounce 40 metres out. let's hope something develops here, Tig, for WA.
Now the pack's developed down this end of the ground as ruckman opposed. No one can get a clear tap out. Taken away by South Australia. He couldn't get a clear kick, Trimboli, but it goes up towards half forward, where out comes Perkins. Oh, in the back there. Thrown out by West Australia. Oh, and there's another throw. Once again, a push in the back. Umpires missed well, could have picked about 3 out of that, Hadge.
I thought we were watching basketball there, Tig. Sorry to interrupt the commentary, but there was a couple of gives there like in basketball.
Let's hope that they can get this one out. I think the first goal will be the one that probably open up the game. There's the ruckman opposed, 24 of Western Australia, Davis. He can't get clear tap out.
Evans
goes
again.
onto the ball was Evans. His kick goes up towards the true full forward position, where out comes South Australia in defence, and a good mark there taken by Douglas.
Out-muscled young Holbrook there, so Holbrook's inexperience could show a little bit.
He's got a bit of strength there. No leads being offered at this stage. Douglas goes out towards the left half-back flank there, where players get underneath the ball. West Australia there in Hall. Hall can't take the mark. Comes to South Australia's Armstrong. His hand pass picked up beautifully there. As once again South Australia ferret the ball out towards Timmins. Timmins' kick goes up towards the left half-forward flank. Goes underneath the ball there. Beautiful work by South Australia as it's picked up nicely down the half volley. As they pushed in the back as kicked, Hadge.
Well, it could have been. He was... he told him he didn't think it was, and I didn't think either. So a bit of hard luck there for Walker, but... the momentum carried him forward, I think. I don't think we want to be paying soft free kicks.
Fair enough. Bit of end-to-end stuff there. The boundary umpire working overtime there.
Yep, the big fella Warren Beckwith, he throws it in. Davis again for WA against Diesel. No one with anything decisive. Comes here towards James. No, he can't pick it up. And that was Chambers down there, and there'll be another throw up. So, left forward pocket now for South Australia. At least we've had quick movement at one end and down the other. We're right in front of goals here, 10 metres out, and there's an opportunity again for South Australia to score. There's the throw up from Rafferty. Davis against Diesel, tapped to no one in particular. West Australia in there again, kicked out by the captain, Perkin. Comes to no one in particular either, although ROCs is in there. He can't get it. Tackled immediately. Great tackle there by Hall. Calling for holding the ball. Rafferty says no, he couldn't get it out of there, and we'll have another throw up. So it's not making life easy or entertaining for this game of football this afternoon.
The breeze having no effect too as the umpire throws the ball in the air, knocked away by Diesel from South Australia. Once again a pack develops and Seamus O'Rafferty's picked out a free kick here.
Good umpiring.
The kick to be taken by Bleakley in the right full-back pocket for West Australia. He cuts across the ground now, kicks across goals where the mark's taken in defence there by Western Australia.
Perkins.
By
Perkins
it is. He has 2 bounces, come towards the members' side of the ground where the ball beats the pursuing player towards the boundary line. We can't see from here, so you'll have to pick one out as the kick in ball there, and the mark's taken by McNeil. McNeil looks towards a central location where it goes in towards the middle of the ground, and it's picked up by Jones. Jones, a wrong foot's one player, kicks up towards the 50-metre arc. The ball travels the 50-metre arc now where the...
Perez leads in the race to the ball. Spins onto the left foot and kicks to the teeth of the goal square. Holbrook with strength goes up against the defence of South Australia. Brings it to the ground. Away goes, it looks like Walker. To the edge, about line. Picked up by WA's Cameron Hall. On the left foot, he spins it into the forward, centre half forward. Holbrook again couldn't take the mark. It wasn't a kick for a mark either, though. And picked up now by South Australia as they crash out of defence. A good thumping kick by, looks like Edwards. Comes to the middle of the ground and Pearce takes the steadying mark. He hand passes to the skipper, sweeping across half-back. He goes wider still, and he finds Freeman. Now, Scotty Holbrook had a beautiful pass up towards Atkins, but punched away by the South Australian Sibic in defence. And right up forward, yes, right on the 50-metre line. But WA now starting to look more positive as they run. And look at the wall that formed here, Tig, outside the 50-metre line.
Yes, West Australia now is the ruckman opposed on this occasion. West Australia player there in Holbrook it was. He couldn't get a clear tap out. Taken away by South Australia once again as they come towards the middle of the ground where the mark's taken by Sibic. Sibic bounces once, goes across towards the member's side of the ground towards Waderman. In pursuit of Waderman there is Chapman, but no one can get clear possession of the ball. Goes towards the boundary line and beats both players over the line and out of bounds. Crowd get a bit of action there, Hedge. We can't see from our broadcast position, but no doubt there was a little bit of going on when that ball crossed the line.
Well, I suppose when you've got a former veteran AFL footballer there in the action right in front of the crowd, they're pretty happy about that. That's what they've come to see.
There's the throw-in.
Oh, that's a free kick, surely, and it is picked out by umpire Woolley. The kick to Davis, interference, as you can see clearly there, for throwing, for holding on to him, and I hope Wiedemann would throw it a bit quicker than that. It could have been close to 50. Davis from WA, the relieving hand pass, he gives it to Freeman, break up a bit of position, but he kicks straight to Wilkins. High, and there he goes, the West Australian. couldn't take the mark there in Hazelhurst. Socket out of the pack, leading back is Polak, picked up by Evans. He's been in everything that they caught. Over the top, missed him though, I think. Comes wide here to Timmins. Timmins out now, the hand pass to Chambers. Chambers back inboard. To it looks like Armstrong. Armstrong to Wiedemann, who puts a long raking left foot kick into the hot spot at centre half forward. Streaming down ground as looks like Armstrong. He takes the mark, kicks forward, up towards the full forward, but no, Bleakley says nothing doing as he puts the hand in there, destroys it. Comes out wide though now, crumbs to the big fella, Pascoe, who snaps on the left foot, and unfortunately he's offline as well, but geez, the big fella getting the easy ball there, showing a bit of mobility to get it onto the boot quickly. So South Australia moved to 3 clear points. No goals.
Well, when you think these conditions had 17 minutes of play and only 3 points scored, so well, it looks like we're in for a pretty defensive sort of game.
At the moment it does, unless it's going to be a battle of fitness too, where someone may gain the first ascendancy, whether it be late in the second quarter. Bleakley's asked to bring the ball in the play and he does so. Comes wide to the left back flank. Picked up great by Stewart. Stewart, the hand pass to Pearce, wasn't coming on. Picked up quickly though. Ooh. Given away, picked up now by Douglas to Wakeland. Nothing happening. Stacks on the mill. Oops, over the top. Fong was interfered with. No free kick. And Rafferty says, I'll have it again. So it's right half forward for South Australia. And
Fong,
the throw.
is he related to Les Fong?
Yeah, son of Les. Great tap by Davis. He's starting to win a lot of these taps. Comes to Holbrook, who with intelligent football grubbers a kick some 20 metres along the line. Finds the boundary line and we'll have another throw in right in front of the members, right under the commentary box. And as you said, Tig, we cannot see a thing.
So we're at the 17-minute mark of the first quarter now. Ruckman opposed once again. No one's getting clear taps out there. The big fella there, Wakeland from South Australia, opposed to Davis. No one gets clear possession. India, though, they dive in on the football. Once again, umpire Seamus O'Rafferty says, I'll take it, and a bounce down to take place right centre wing for the South Australian side.
I start to think, I think that was a premature bounce up and they're not letting him probably be a bit more physical in there, so something can happen. Anyway,
kick out by South Australia player there in Civic. His kick goes up towards the half forward line. The mark's taken by May, about 65 metres out from goals. Good kick there by May. He sets it up towards about 30 metres out, and underneath the ball is a West Australian pushed out of it, but South Australia interfered with their hedge and a kick to be taken. Obviously he was pushed into the West Australian, which created that situation. So about 25 metres out from goal, South Australia player there in Pascoe to take the kick.
Yeah, there was an arm wrestle going on. I thought there was nothing in that. Yeah, I probably thought it should have gone the other way. He looked like he shoved the West Australian, but umpire Rafferty, I believe, saw some holding going on.
We'll get a replay of that, no doubt, Hadge, later on.
Well, on our 7 monitor, yes. That'll be magnificent. But Pascoe now has the first deliberate shot at goal inside the probably 20 metres out on a very acute angle here. And also he's been given some good advice there by the WA Vice-Captain in McNeil. So I think if he misses it, McNeil will claim the credit here as Pascoe moves in on the left foot. So he's a left footer. Snaps for goal, leads it out left, and it stays out left. So he hasn't read the West Australian Fremantle doctor as yet. And another minor score to South Australia.
I'd say breeze is possibly blowing left or right. What breeze there is.
Yeah, it's a perfect conditions though, and another blood drill. Pearce again, it's the wounds opened up Pearce again. So Pearce coming off, as you say, at the 19-minute mark of the first quarter. A bit of stop-start, a lot of bounce-ups, unattractive football. Umpire calling the man to come straight on, and onto the ground for the first time comes Morgan Clark. And a very good 6-footer, 6'1", versatile half-back. And we now have Bleakley to bring the ball into play. And he plays on immediately with the new ruling as they kick for themselves inside the square. He kicks out wide and mark taken by the WA boy. And it looks like Perez. He wheels onto the left, comes inboard. Hand pass to the WA defender in Taylor, and he kicks straight up the middle of the ground looking for... he was looking for Polak. He couldn't take the mark. Knocked out by Trimboli. No one picks it up, but ordered to Civic. Diving over the top was Hall, comes out wide here to the run of James. He does a 360 and spins around onto his right foot and brings it into the middle of the ground where he finds Wiedemann. Wiedemann loose on the mark. There is Polak. Wiedemann on the left, but he kicks up forward. Morgan Chapman Jones jumped in the air. Mark not paid to the South Australians. Kicked inboard, but a good saving timely mark here now by WA and Kadich onto the ground. He kicks wide here to the run of Freeman. Little rover from North Fremantle. Freeman picks it up. No, he doesn't. He's beset upon and buffeted around by Edwards, who soccers it off the ground with intelligence. Kicks up towards half forward where Mays leads in the race to the ball. But coming in is Perkins, and he puts a nice old tackle and bump on him and sees the ball knocked over the line and out of bounds.
So it's been reasonably physical at this stage, Hadge. Both sides, as I say, 4 points in 20 minutes of football only, so it just goes to show the closeness of the game. Await now the throw in by the boundary umpire. Ruckman opposed, pushed out of the way, was a West Australian umpire.
Why is that not a free kick?
Passed out towards Wiedemann. Wiedemann kicks towards the full forward line, and there it is, the first goal at the 20-minute mark of the first quarter. South Australia registered their first goal. They moved to 1 goal for 10 points. West Australia still yet to get on the scoreboard. Hadge, good play there by Wiedemann. He's been one of their better players so far.
He has. He's obviously playing in the middle of the ground and reading the play magnificently. Still has a passion for footy because he hasn't put the weight on. But I thought the kick should have been against the South Australian ruckman there, Pascoe. He's just shoved the West Australian out the road, got the tap straight down the throat of Wiedemann, and on the left foot snapped it around his body for a timely goal. Wakeland's in the middle now. He'll do battle with the West Australian ruck contingency, and Kadich is on the ball for the first time. Throw up by umpire Willie. Kadich and Wilkin. Tap by Wilkin, straight down the throat of Cameron Hall coming in from the wing. No one can do anything. Wakeland bends over, picks it up, knocks it into the path of Timmins. Timmins leads in the race of the ball. Shepherd comes from Walker. Timmins onto the left foot, kicks up to half forward. Streaming down ground comes Timmins, and he's taken the mark. Wheels onto the right foot and kicks into the pocket, and he's found his teammate over there in Dillon. So Dillon outside 50, onto the right boot, keeps to the top of the goal square. Pascoe's the target. Then the big fella charging out, takes the mark. Yards in front of Bleakley, and he'll have another set shot here, the big fella, the full forward. So that was a timely ploy by the looks of the South Australians. They started Pascoe on the bench. This big fella's averaging, I think, 10 goals in his last 2 games in South Australia, and he's a bit too big and strong for Bleakley, I think, at the moment. And even the lead, so where I thought he wasn't as mobile, he led in the race to charged out in front and took a very good mark.
So we wait now on the kick on goal by the big fella, Pascoe. The man standing on the mark's about 40 metres out from goal, so a kick from about 45 as he comes in on that trusty left foot. We'll see how good his 10-goal average is, Hadge, as he kicks towards full forward. Does not trouble the goal umpire to move too far to his left, and another goal to South Australia. So they're starting to take it up to Western Australia now, and they've now kicked 2 goals in about 3 minutes. They move at the 21-minute mark of the first quarter to 2 goals for 10 points. West Australia yet to score. West Australia have to do some soul-searching, Hadge, because it started from the middle, that one.
You're right, and it's coincidentally it happens now with Kadich on the ball. Davis has gone off the ball, so WA may lose a bit of ascendancy with the big fella Davis not being on the ball. The tap there, as you said, was pretty decisive, and South Australia working it out of the middle.
So once again, umpire Woolley from South Australia, Wakeland opposed to Kadich again. Throw up a beautiful throw as no one gets a clear tap out. West Australia come through, and as I speak, there goes the siren to end the first quarter of proceedings at East Fremantle Oval. Perfect conditions. 23-minute quarter that quarter. South Australia 2 goals for 10 points. West Australia yet to score.
We'll make it 2-4-16. Tick, sorry to correct you there. We don't want to rob South Australia.
Right, welcome back to the second quarter of proceedings here this afternoon at East Fremantle Oval. The scoreboard, South Australia 2-4-16, leading West Australia yet to trouble the scorers. So a good first quarter of football, even though it was a bit congested at times. South Australia in the latter stages of the first quarter really stamped their authority on this game early. Better players for South Australia in the first quarter. I thought Wiedemann played a good, strong hand, sent South Australia into attack on a number of occasions, and in the ruck, Pascoe also did some good things for South Australia. For Western Australia, Hedge?
Western Australia, I thought their skipper was led them best in Perkins. I thought Chapman Jones was very effective in the defence, and Michael Evans had a very good half. Rafferty starts play as he throws the ball on the head. Immediately Davis gets the first tap, but it comes to White. His first kick goes up forward. We've got the red ball, so it looks like the South Australian ball's into vogue here. Hand pass comes out from White. No one in particular. Picked up by the West Australian Fife. He was too quick. Tackle immediately. Comes now wide to James. He gets a hand pass out to Wiedemann. He knocks it on. Comes out wide though to West Australian. Couldn't pick it up in Hall. In goes the big fella there in Armstrong. He couldn't do it. Hand pass out from Trimboli. Comes to Shane Wilkins, and the mark's been steadied and taken by Morgan Clark. Clark drives wide, grandstand wing here where Hall can't take the mark. In goes McNeil, tackled high, and the umpire's seen it the same way. Davis got the quick hand pass out there to Hall, but it's not doing, and McNeil will take the free kick now, right in front of the commentary box. Tommy McNeil.
Already South Australia putting a bit of authority on this in the early stages of second quarter too. Hedges, we wait the kick now from McNeil. No leads being offered. He sees a short one right out on the right half forward flank, and a good mark taken by Hall. Ball now looks forward, no leads being offered, drives up towards the 50-metre arc, no one comes out. Oh, good mark taken by Western Australia there, and a big fella there comes out in Mitch Holbrook, and a mark taken about 45 metres out from goal. So a kick from about 48. Hedge, what sort of kicker we got here?
Oh, good kick. This chap's leading goal kicker in the amateurs. He's averaging about 6 or 7, Tig. He's the star from North Beach, and there was no hesitation putting him in between, in front of the big sticks for this state side.
So we await now Holbrook now. Looking, it looks like that could be the scoring end as we're right behind this kick, and a magnificent kick off the boot, and 6 points to Western Australia. So they now get on the scoreboard. They're 1 goal, 6 points, trailing South Australia 2 goals, 4-16.
Yeah, I think that's great play too. That'll be great relieving pressure for WA. And the way Holbrook kicked that, he's kicked straight over the goal umpire. So he's kicked that 60 metres, the big fella. And that's good stuff. Good kick by McNeil and Hall. They used the ball effectively there. And that was probably Holbrook's first clear and decisive, confident lead. And we see his strength took the mark as well. So we're back in the middle now with umpire Willie. WA on the board there, 6 points, playing 16. Davis in the ruck. Up against Wilkins. Throw up goes. No decisive tap. Comes to the ground. In there was May. He couldn't do it. Davis dives on top. In over the top comes Wilkins. Umpire Willie says, I'll have it here. We'll have another throw up.
Umpiring's been pretty consistent, Hedge.
Yeah.
Allowing play to be mobile at times.
That's true. Wakeling got the tap. Comes out wide here to May. He can't pick it up. Good hand pass goes out wide now to Perkins. And the Shepherd's offered there by 5, so Perkins runs. Kicks to centre half forward the hot spot. Up they go, no arc taken. Picked up by the South Australian defender there in Spencer. He gets a long hand pass to Dillon. Dillon comes wide, grandstand wing to the lead of his teammate. And he's leading out, taking the mark there is Edwards. Edwards now on his right foot, goes inboard, but no, it'll be cut off by Morgan Clark. He read the play well. Chips in, takes the steadying mark across half-back, and he kicks wide to the grandstand. But he's kicked straight back to his immediate opponent in Edwards. Edwards takes the mark. Well, couldn't see the sense in that, Tig, but might have rushed his kick. Pressure,
should have put a bit more depth into that kick, but nevertheless, mistakes are to be made in state football. As we wait now, the kick by Edwards. He goes up towards the right half forward flank. Out comes South Australia player there. No one can take clear possession. Scooped off the pack nicely by Chambers. He goes up towards the left full forward pocket. Out comes the West Australian defence, and once again in goes South Australia, where it's picked up by Chandler. Chandler's smothered. Kick out towards the right full forward, left full forward pocket, but it beats the pursuing West Australian defenders over the line and out of bounds. I think that player there, I got mixed up there, Hedge. I think it may have been... Yeah,
not to worry, Fife saw it over the line for WA, and it was very timely. Davis is in the ruck here. He's up against Pascoe. He immediately grabs hold of his arm in front of the umpire. Nothing doing. I'm not paying the kick, he says. Sock it off the ground there by the West Australian. Morgan Clark comes out wide here to the boot of Timmins. Timmins on the left, kicks, but in the last line of defence we see Fife takes the mark and switches play like the West Australians like to do. He kicks wide to the runner Holbrook, the state winger. He kicks, spins onto his right foot and finds his captain and president of North Beach in Matthew Fong. Left half back for WA. The runner's on as Fong kicks wide. Out of side wing, and there's a great mark by Pollack. He throws himself into the fray, takes the mark. His first possession of this match, and WA now starting to get on top. I feel they're getting into the game. They're finding their teammates. As Pollack kicks up towards the skipper. No, Perez into the air, and he takes the mark. And knocked the ball's been knocked out of his hands. He's asking for 50. Not doing again, says Willie. So Perez now, lively left footer as he kicks up inside 50. Looks to the lead of Holbrook, and he's yards in front, and he's taken the mark. Wide out on the boundary line, some 50 metres out he'll kick from. And this could be yet another one, Tig.
Good lead offered there by Holbrook. An excellent delivery as well, Hedge. So we wait now right in front of the Hungry Jack sign. Holbrook about to kick from about 45 metres out. In the left full forward pocket. Could be a bit difficult from there, but nevertheless.
Well, he's backing himself. He's lined them up. He hasn't looked inboard. He's not even looking to kick to the top of the square. Jeez, the kick's just out. How's that?
Not a bad start. As the umpire goes for the right-hand flag, and once again, Western Australia put himself on the board. They're now 2 goals, 12 points, trailing South Australia 2 goals, 4-16. And we're at the 5-minute mark of the second quarter. Beautiful conditions here at East Fremantle Oval this afternoon, and now we're starting to get a good brand of football from both sides.
Yeah, they're starting to open up. WA are breaking free, as we saw there. Fife starting that switch in play, and the Holbrook, the North Beach boys, Fong onto Perez, and that was tremendous. Good kicking, good marking, good leading. And WA, as I said, this Holbrook, he'll be playing league footy by the end of the year. Anyway, back in the middle as umpire Rafferty throws it up in the air. Davis doesn't win the tap because Wakeland does. Comes down here to Freeman. He didn't want to go. He was pretty physical in there. Comes to Chapman Jones. Clever presence of mind to balk backwards and hand pass wide to Cameron Hall. Comes to Morgan Jones. He grubbers a kick. Trimboli couldn't pick it up. Comes now to the West Australian boys in Pollack. His kick smothered. Picked up by South Australia's James. Gets it out wide to the run of it. Looks like Civic. Civic trying to fight off Scotty Holbrook's tackle. Oh no, holding the ball not paid. Immediately holding the man is. No, I don't like that. Tiggy was holding the ball. He tried to break the tackle. Lot was dispossessed. And then there was a lingering tackle that paid the holding the man.
Anyway, there goes the Civic kick up towards the right half forward flank where it's picked up on the half volley by a South Australian player there as he drives it up towards the forward pocket. Out on a lead comes the full forward. He hand passes to the run of a teammate and fires on goal. And another goal to South Australia there. That player couldn't quite pick him up, Hadge.
It was picked up. Pascoe put the hand pass in and it was picked up by, it looks like, I think, Dylan.
As we wait now for the female goal umpire, Kendall Bull, to make a decision. She's been given the all clear by Seamus Rafferty. And a goal to South Australia.
Yeah, I don't know what the delay in the all clear was there. It was pretty open sort of passage of play. Again, Pascoe's big physical size and presence there was just too much for WA. He bullocked into the open, grabbed the ball, hand passed to the run of his teammate who, for whatever reason, grubbers the kick. I don't like this grubbering the kick. I like to see it go straight through the big sticks. This grubbering and hoping the ball bounces correctly. Not for me, but anyway, South Australia broken away a little bit here. They're 3-4-22. WA are 2 goals straight, 12 at the 7-minute mark. And we're back in the middle with umpire Woolley.
Davis of Western Australia. He can't get the clear tap out. Taken by Wiedemann. He's swamped by 2 players. Umpire says, I'll have it. And he was quick to blow the whistle there, the South Australian umpire. And a resultant bounce down to take place.
Tend to agree, Tig. That's what blocks it up, doesn't it? There was no need for that. Wiedemann break free. He's just got to have a bit more passion about footy. Anyway, clever tap comes wide to Pearce as Pearce drives WA into attack. Up to half forward. Where behind goes Perez. Up over his opponent of James. And Perez is starting to really ignite now on the half forward line. Took a good mark. Clever run here from Pearce. He runs forward, takes the mark. He's some 60 metres out. But now it's good. We're starting to run through the lines of the WA boys. Pearce comes across the ground and he's found Morgan Clark. And Clark now, who I've been impressed with. I think he's going all right, young Clark. He's outside 50. He looks inboard. Where to? A nest of South Australians. That's the second errant kick. And again, he's found the South Australian here in May. May comes wide to the runner. It looks like Jarks, and Jarks has taken a mark. Sorry, it's not. It's Chambers. Chambers wheels onto his right foot. Grandstand wing, and he kicks up here where it looks like a good mark by Taylor. And Taylor, the North Fremantle defender. Now he's got Stewart inboard if he wants to handball. He doesn't.
In the shadows of the grandstand, we see Taylor now kick up towards the true centre half forward position. Once again, South Australia can't take the mark. It spills wide of the pack. In goes South Australia, pushed off the kick. Kick goes unnoticed. It's taken by White of South Australia. He hand passes over towards Trimboli. Trimboli onto the back of a teammate. He comes towards the member side once again. And a good kick out towards the left half forward flank. And the mark taken by Dylan. Dylan cuts inboard. Kick up towards centre half forward. Out on a lead. Terrific mark there taken by a South Australian player there in... Arnold it is. Arnold's kick goes up towards the true full forward player. Interference taken place there. So it's picked up by West Australia's Fife. Fife's hand pass over towards a teammate, but he's swamped by the attacking side of South Australia, and the ball's forced over the line and out of bounds, about 45 metres out from the West Australian goals.
It's Perkins. They're playing a sweeping role on the half-back line, and yes, the pressure was such that it was forced over the line and out of bounds. Davis is here, up against Pascoe. He gets in front too, but Pascoe's strength, sheer strength, gets the Grain's possession. Hand pass to Wiedemann. Wiedemann snaps onto the left foot from 40 metres. Goal umpire moves to the left-hand side of the goals, and unfortunately for Wiedemann and South Australia, she's offline. Minus score. South Australia go to 3 goals, 5, 23. WA 2 goals straight.
A lot of women starting to get into umpiring now, Hadge, which is good to see.
This is Kendall Ball, the daughter of Michael Ball, 306-game veteran of WAFL football.
And AFL umpire?
Yes, Travis Burton kicks in and kicks outside 50 with a thumping kick. Up went Wakeland, couldn't take the mark as the West Australians went in there. And whistle happy Seamus Rafferty with a loose ball. Yes, well, the ruling is the ball must be stopped in motion. Now, the ball, as we saw, was knocked out. So, I don't know, they're a bit quick on that. Anyway, Rafferty throws the ball aloft. Up goes Davis against Wakeland. The tap to Wakeland. Not there. Fife comes in. Can't pick it up. Jitters. Nerves. Gets a good hand pass out to Morgan. Chapman Jones. He unlofts the hand pass to Fong. Fong into the centre of the ground. He goes with his kick. Perez mauled by a ground creeper of the South Australia. Picks up the ball, hand pass to Clark. Comes back inboard, it looks like Freeman. Freeman's got Fong on the loose. Oh, the kick's there and again. In comes Trimboli, the skipper for South Australia. Onto the left foot, he goes wide here to White. White couldn't pick it up. Pierce is in there, putting pressure. It comes wide to James, though. James gets beset upon, but he gets his kick in time towards Arnold. Perkins drops the mark. Gets the hand pass out wide. Stewart's there, Fife's there also. He picks up the ball, hand passes to the ground for whatever reason. Picked up by South Australia's Ellis. He breaks, got hold, high tackle, play on the advantage. Cool as he kicks to centre half forward. Burton's in the contest, comes down to Dylan. Dylan the hand pass to it, looks like James. James unloads a right foot kick towards goal. She's offline yet again. And South Australia have yet another minus score.
I notice in the defence of South Australia too, they seem to work in numbers of 2 and 3 towards the ball all the time. So they're doing it well in the defence of South Australia. So we await the kick in once again by the West Australian Burton. He comes towards the member side of the ground. About 3 metres in from the boundary line, the mark's taken by Fife. It is. Fife's kick comes in towards a player there and Freeman. Freeman he chips the ball inboard there and the mark's taken by Fong. Fong looks short, no leads being offered at this stage.
Clever play by Fong. He steadied it up a bit. He's not rushing, or no, now he has. He's got around his...
The oncoming player there in Dylan. Fong's kick goes up towards the attacking side of the centre circle. Players come from all directions in South Australia. Here they come through in 3s and 4s again. In goes Chapman. He's knocked off the ball nicely. Picked up by Western Australia player there in Pierce. Smothered off the boot. Out towards Fong once again. Players dive in from all directions. Fong's grabbed a bit high there, but umpire Woolley screams in their head, shows his authority, and the ball to be thrown down on the right centre wing on the member side for South Australia, going towards the right-hand side of the camera.
We have umpire Willie throws it up in the air. Wakelin and Davis. Wakelin the tap. Comes out to Morgan Clark. He's got the high tackle put on him by Armstrong and will have a free kick to WA. So Morgan Clark, let's hope he uses this because his last two have gone straight to South Australia. The lead comes here. Streaming out comes Hazelhurst and he takes the mark. Looks down ground immediately. Good play. Oh, he kicks, doesn't get full measurement. Holbrook on the burst, takes the mark, hand passes inboard to Freeman. Freeman flat-footed, picks up the ball, says, oh, what's this doing in my hands? He puts it onto the beat quickly, looks for Burton, couldn't take the mark. No, it was Polak. Stacks on the mill develop, in goes Spencer over the top and we'll have a ball up again. Right 15 metres out in front of the WA goals.
Gee, good defence there from South Australia. Hedge looked like he had his name on it, that West Australian player then, and terrific defence by South Australia.
They don't give up, yes, and that's typical of the tackle here where they locked it up. Anyway, the ball off the tap comes to the captain Trimboli. He kicks, he's hit the South Australian runner. It's come back into play, and on the burst comes Ellis. He kicks out of defence to centre of the ground, and on the burst for South Australia and taking the mark is Edwards. Edwards in the middle of the ground now, Fife on his mark. He drives with a long right kick out right half forward. Leading in the race of the ball is Spencer, and Spencer's taken the mark. He puts South Australia into attack now. He goes, no, he doesn't, he's undecided. Now he cuts inboard. Looks for teammate here in Ellis. Ellis couldn't pick it up. Kick didn't make the distance, that's why. Comes wide here to Dylan though. Dylan, long left hand pass. Out in the run of Clark, couldn't pick it up. WA they will, and it's picked up cleverly by Morgan Clark. He hand passes inboard to Scotty Holbrook. Onto the right boot he goes with a burst of pace and he looks up forward for Hazelhurst, who's pushed in the back. And umpire Woolley, who's struggling, I think, in the conditions from 40 metres, saw it correctly as well as we did. So the free kick to Hazelhurst. He looks for the lead, it looks here. And a good mark taken by Clint Atkins, Tassie Atkins. Charging out, takes the mark. He's some 40 metres out. He'll kick from 50 though. Way up in the left forward pocket in front of the Hungry Jack sign, as we say. So WA with an opportunity to get their third goal. The second from this virtual identical spot of Holbrook's earlier goal.
So we await now the Atkins kick. At the 15-minute mark of the second quarter, he looks towards the full forward line. That's the direction the kick takes. Pushed underneath the ball as a West Australian player there, but the ball travels the pack and goes over the line and out of bounds about a metre around from the behind post, attacking side of the centre square for Western Australia.
Evans is back on for WA, so obviously they're looking at getting their mobile division moving.
Holbrook goes up for Western Australia. Ball comes down, can't be taken by Jacques. In goes South Australia defence again. They work the ball out towards, but a player has kicked the ball over the line and out of bounds, and the kick to be taken in on the right half forward flank for Western Australia by Davis. No, there's been a bit of an infringement there. The ball's to be taken back across the 50, where the 50-metre line arcs.
Yeah, this is where the true position where the ball went out of bounds, Tig.
Okay, so it's Perez. Right on the 50-metre, he will kick from about 55 out. He looks inboard, a good kick there as he sets it up towards the true centre half forward position, and a great mark taken there by West Australian player.
Hazelhurst.
Hazelhurst, it was about 45 metres from goals.
Actually, this is Polak, I apologise. Polak. Good mark by the WA boys. There was 2 or 3 players there, and again, good use of the ball. Perez, very good pass. And I think once the disposal of WA's is now it's getting a lot better and it's finding targets and giving them more scoring opportunities.
As Polak moves in, kicks towards the goal there, the player from, terrific mark there taken by a West Australian player in Holbrook, about 2 metres out from goal. So we've gone from a small player taking the mark at centre half forward hedge to possibly one of the biggest on the ground, fulfilling that mission at about 2 metres out from goal.
Yes, and yet again Holbrook showing his true talents. Both sides have opted for the big 6'5", 6'6" fellas at full forward or in the goal square area, and both are having an influence on the game. Holbrook moves in, drops it onto the right foot, straight back over the goal umpire's head, and WA have their third on the board as they start to close the margin on South Australia.
So it's still goal for goal hedge here, even though it's been low scoring. They've kicked 3 goals apiece each, and we're at the 17-minute mark of the second quarter. Terrific conditions here at East Fremantle Oval this afternoon, and both sides playing a good brand of football. The further the game goes, the better the quality is, Hedge.
It is, I tend to agree, Tig. WA making changes, Davis off, on comes Kadich into the middle of the ground. He'll be opposed to Wilkins, and yep, the footy, I think they're relaxing a little bit. There was obviously the big game nerves. Umpire Willie throws it up in the air. Kadich and Wilkins the tap. No one in particular comes to Evans. He scrambles a kick to the lead of Hazelhurst, who flicks the left-hand pass to the run of Holbrook. Holbrook onto his left foot grubbers a kick towards his brothers. Mitch wheels around in the big arc, kicks. The kick smothered though, and the South Australian defender in Chandler smothers it. Comes out here wide now to Ellis. Ellis works his way inboard as he comes straight up the middle of the ground and kicks towards Brent Stewart. Not taking the mark, but crumbs to Chapman Jones. He shrugs off a tackle, feeds a hand pass. Chinese eye fake. He missed Perkins and found Fong. And Fong now on the right foot kicks to left half forward, where Holbrook's up against 2 South Australians in the sandwich, and the come away with the ball is Spencer for South Australia. He relieves pressure and kicks to the outer wing, but Perkins leads in the race of the ball. Drops the mark, finds the hand pass to teammate Fong though. Fong starting to emerge with some possessions. Kicks towards Evans, missed the target, and the South Australian skipper picks it up. Hand passes inboard. He finds a short pass to Armstrong, who streams through the middle of the ground. He kicks towards half forward, and on the lead is Dillon. And Dillon, the South Australian half forward, has taken a mark. Outside 50. He looks to kick to the teeth of the goal square. Arnold it is. Arnold kicks long. Up for Pascoe. Fife in there. Bleakley thumps it to the ground. Crumbs come to Armstrong. Armstrong snaps. And he snaps truly. And South Australia have their fourth with a little bit of basic mistaking there. We're too many up, no one down in front, Tig.
Yes, terrific play there by South Australia, and when they do go forward, Hedge, they certainly look good with the big blokes up forward.
They do. Well, there's a lot of Pascoe's drawn 2 defenders there, and they're all over him, and he still had the strength to flick Fife to the side, and Bleakley was trying to crawl over the top. He's a big fella. He must be 6'8". He's a monster.
We've still got a good game of football on our hands here this afternoon.
Oh, this one, yeah, it's not over yet. There's plenty of football left, as they'd say. Now, this bloke here, he's come onto the ground, mate, unmarked. So WA, yeah, Chapman Jones. No, they've warned him onto him, so he's back in the middle. Kadich the tap. No one in particular comes to Edwards. He tries to burst through the middle. Evans is in and under. He couldn't pick it up. In goes Perkins. He tries to soccer it out of the hands of his teammate in Evans. Couldn't do it. Stacks on the Meldevelop, and umpire Rafferty screams in there and says, I'll have it, and we'll have it up in the air again.
I think they've done a reasonable job so far, the umpires. They've probably picked up a couple of little early ones.
They're not going to be perfect, Tig, you're right.
It's been a good performance. As the ruckman opposed once again, Kadich can't get a clear tap out. Picked up by South Australia there. It's kicked up towards the attacking side of the centre square there, where the player pushed out from Western Australia there, player in Fife. No one can gain clear position. It's picked up once again by Chapman. Chapman's holding the ball. Players dive in from all directions as the ball's